This is Tech Gears. My name is Levi, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most universally well-received lenses there is, and that's the Zeiss 16 to 35 f4. All right, so this is a lens that a lot of YouTubers have actually sold and re-bought. Some of the great things about this lens is it does have image stabilization, so it works for, say, vlogging or video. That 16 to 35 is giving you that 16, 24, and 35 focal lengths. Weird thing I don't really like about it is the wide end is actually more zoomed out. So it's really kind of feels imbalanced. So that's the wide end. That's zoomed in, so it just feels weird compared to most other lenses. But it offers something where if you're doing real estate, you can use this. If you're doing some street photography, 24 to 35 mil, you can use this. With image stabilization, if you're doing video, you can use this as just a walk-around lens. It's a good size, it's not too heavy. This is something that does everything good, but literally nothing great. So depending on what your use case is, this could be an awesome lens that you'll get a lot of use out of. And depending on what else you're doing, this is just an okay lens that you're gonna be better served getting a plentiful other variety of lenses that will do more than what this does. So let's tackle what this does well and what it doesn't. So if you're just getting to the Sony ecosystem, you're wondering what lens to get, this is a $1,300 lens that generally goes actually on the used market for anywhere from $600 to $900. So for $600 to $900, there's a couple other options you can get that are in that price range that will do better than this for specific needs. So first one, vlogging. All right, everyone wants to do vlogging and you film yourself. If you're vlogging, that 16 mil is a really good focal length. I honestly prefer the 20 mil focal length. This is a $900 lens. I was able to get it on sale. Guys, keep following the channel. I'm gonna post some really good deals on how I've done things and maybe they can help you out. But I was able to get this for about $600. Regularly, it's closer to about $800 maybe, but this is still a way better vlogging lens in every capacity, being sharper, faster aperture where you have that nice bokeh, and it just looks better than what you're getting from this. Now this does have the image stabilization, but if you're using some of the newer Sony cameras, it's not that they have image stabilization, but something like the A7C that we're recording on here actually has gyroscope data. So that allows you to have really smooth images where it looks like you're on a gimbal. So this thing, I would say, is a better vlogging lens, but you can still vlog on here. So kudos, this works. So what about a walk-around lens? This is giving you that 24 to 35 millimeter range where you can do some street photography, family photos. It's decently light enough so you can just keep it on with you. But honestly, you're gonna find that 35 mil is where you're keeping it at. And the Sony 35 f1.8 is just a fantastic lens. This thing is lighter, it's smaller, it's way sharper, and it's just fun to use. You can punch into that 52 and just get some unbelievable images. This looks so nice. And again, this is a personal preference thing. You may prefer a 24 mil. And in that case, Sony has a 24 mil. Again, that's $1,400, but Viltrox is coming out with one that's, was that like 600 or 700? I'll post it here where you can get a 24 1.8. And again, both are gonna be way better than this for just your street photography. But again, we're talking about one lens that does a lot pretty good, but nothing well. And just the ability to punch in from 16 to 35 is kind of nice. Now you can do that on something like the 20 mil. So if we're vlogging, you can punch in using the APS-C mode. You could also punch in using the digital clear image zoom, and that's gonna allow you to step in. Now, not as smooth, but it still works. So you can get around using the 20 and have that 20 to 30, and then even 30 to 45 mil when you're just using the 20 mil. And I can do a video on that if you guys wanna know how and why I think even prime lenses have a lot more versatility. All right, so this is not gonna be the best vlogging lens. This is not gonna be the best walk-around lens. So what about just a daily lens where you wanna capture things you're with your family? Well, in that case, there's actually two lenses that are way better. One of which, this is technically a little more expensive. This is a $1,200 lens, I believe. This is the 24 to 105 Sony. I was able to get it Again, really cheap, follow me guys, for about $700. Normally I've seen these for $900 to $1,000, which again is really close to what you're getting this for. At the 24 wide end, this is plenty wide for getting group photos or being close up. If you're in a home, you know, and you're with your family, this is something you can walk around with, and that 105 reach allows you to get some nice creamy bokeh because you really have more compression. You can really capture your kids running and playing, and you can zoom into that, which is really cool. And again, for about the same price, and you guys can take a look at the size here. Yes, this is a little longer, but it's not a drastic difference. Weight-wise, honestly, they're super close. But again, as a walk-around lens, this has actually better image stabilization than this one does. At 24, this is still plenty wide to actually vlog from. Like, you're getting a range where you can vlog with this, and I actually like it better than this one, and this is a better walk around. And one thing I haven't even mentioned, this is sharpest from 16 to say 20, 24. Once you get to 24 to 35, it gets kind of soft. Whereas this is pretty much sharp throughout the entire range. I was gonna say rev range for cars, but throughout the entire zoom range, you get a really sharp image, edge to edge, no matter what you're doing. So if you're doing landscape, if you're doing different type of photography, videography, I would actually choose this one pretty much every time over this one. So now we have one aspect of video or photography left that this still does pretty well in. The final aspect is real estate photography. Going to 16 makes a huge difference. I know for the same price, you can get a Tamron 17 to 28. That's gonna be sharper. It's gonna be faster aperture, so it's a little bit brighter, better low light. But that 17 to 16 makes a huge difference if you're doing real estate photography, where this still works well and it's still really sharp. And at least for me, if you're doing video or if you're doing photography in real estate, you really want that f-stop closer to f8. Some folks do it f11, so you have everything in the image as sharp as possible. So the fact that this is f4 doesn't really matter. And the fact that you can get a 2.8 G Master for $2,000, if you're stepping down at that point, it's not really comparable, and this is still comparably light. Now, the 17 to 28 Tamron is gonna be way sharper than this once you get past that 20, 24, no matter what, but it's still limited. I like having that 16 to 35 where you have that 19 millimeters of zoom range, and not to mention you can still crop into 52, and then you still have clear image zoom where you can take that all the way to 105 millimeters. So, and then that's in JPEG photography only, but you get a lot of versatility out of this, where if you're doing real estate, this is still a really good lens that's flexible enough for you can use as a day-to-day, as for street photography, for vlogging. Now, I would also say the 14mm 2.8 from Samyang, or Rokinon, whether you get the automatic or I've heard even doing the manual actually is not that big of a difference if you're doing real estate photography, is a better lens, and that's only $500. So again, this comes down to what are you using it for? I know a lot of YouTubers try to say whatever's best for you. Well, I'm here to let you know, you need to decide what you're doing, what kind of photography or videography, and then you're gonna be able to kind of sift through what lenses work for your creativity. If you don't know, and that's where a lot of us start, you don't know what you really enjoy. You don't know what focal lengths you find. I really enjoy 35mm. It's not until you try it out. Some folks really enjoy 50, 24, and that's a personal thing through your sight and your creativity. But if you don't know, this is a really cool lens where you can do a lot of things with it. You can do your videography, you can do vlogging, you can do some real estate, you can do landscape. This is something that you can walk around with. It's not too heavy, it's not too light either. So this is still gonna be heavier than your typical tiny 16 to 50 lens. And I'll have a video on that, you guys can check it out. But for just an all-around lens, this is gonna be really enjoyable. It does nothing well, as far as like incredibly well, but it does everything kind of good. It gets the job done. Now, personally, because this has now been relegated to really just real estate for me. So since I'm only doing real estate photography with this, because For vlogging and most of my stuff, I keep the 20mm on there majority of the time. 35 of them with my family, and I have the 24 to 105 as just my walk around where, hey, I don't know what we're doing that day. We're going for a walk, you know, if we're going on vacation, I'm just bringing that one lens. So this has been sitting only if I have my real estate gigs coming up. So I'm gonna be trading this in. Guys, keep posted, follow the channel for a more dedicated real estate lens. And there's a couple different options we have on that. I'd love to hear your comments below. But if you are interested in the 16 to 35, hopefully this video helps you out, the f4 version on this, and you know where it fits in, what it does well, what other lenses do it better, and let me know if you guys beat me on the price on that. This lens, I'll have a video on how I got it for the price I got it in the video I'm replacing this for. So stay tuned. Guys, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think of the video. Subscribe if you'd like, and really appreciate you guys. I'll come at you later.